Okay, we're live, and I'm here with Samir. We could call it.
Good afternoon, Cambodia. It's not good for Vietnam. It's good afternoon, Cambodia.
I can't point this way because I need to point this way, but that's my man Samir. This is kind of how he rolls, right?
There's my man Dan right here with the bucket hat. He's rocking it. I dig it.
Yeah. So it's all a bunch of fun here, and that's what we want to keep the spirit live, and we want to keep it fun and exciting. And who's better to do it with than Samir, my man? Okay, so I'll be kind of steering us in line, but Samir is going to buck the trend the whole way down. So I brought you on, and we were talking about the workout regime. I used to spend a lot of time in the gym.
Yeah, what I've come to realize is you really don't need a gym, man. Because I haven't, like, this whole COVID thing, I used to be so dependent on, like, I need to go to the gym. The gym has equipment. All you need, if you just do push-ups every day and you do, like, you go for a little run, maybe you do some something explosive, you move around, maybe get a couple of dumbbells if you really want, if you want to add some weights to it, which I like having that. But if you can find what I used to do, I used to go down to the playground across the street, get on the monkey bars and just start doing pull-ups on that. I didn't even need. We bought a pull-up bar. That shit broke in like a week. So it was about to tear the freaking bath. We couldn't close the bathroom door. You couldn't take a shit in peace because we had the pull-up bar hanging up there. So we just said, screw it. See, I avoided a worse word there. We said screw it. And we improvised. So I like it. What we used to do though, we used to spar a lot. So I got my boxing gloves there. We used to fight each other. But what happened one time was my roommate flipped me on my back and I wasn't ready, and I was out of commission for like 2 weeks. I couldn't do jack shit. Couldn't move. I was writing articles for you. I couldn't even leave. I was just sitting there in my bed. I couldn't even move. I felt like a paraplegic, man. I felt like freaking Stephen Hawking with half the brain power.
Hey, we don't know that for sure. We don't know what your capability is yet, right?
We're capable of the infinite. It's like Bootsy Collins said, everyone has access to the one. You just have to find the one, and you got it. But so how you doing, man? I want to hear about your getting swole. What was when you were at your peak gains? What were you doing?
Well, I was a sprinter, so I had I ran the 100 meters in track and field, and so I was always training for like heavy, a combination between like heavy squats and high intensity workouts, plyometrics, all these kinds of things, and a very, very regimented diet. When I found that I was trying to do weight training, like if I was going to focus on it, I wanted to see results happening. I wanted to see improvements. I wanted to run and train and improve my personal best in terms of, the running and the performance. And it seemed to me the only way to do that was a little bit what you're alluding to, about shocking the system, but then putting the most optimal fuel into your body.
You have to be, what I've come to realize is you have to be your own trainer. You have to kick your ass, because no one is going to kick your ass as much as you can kick your ass.
So that's right.
Yeah.
Well, and then one of the things that I want to kind of segue into our conversation, we're going to bring up a screen share of the April posts, because part of what we're going to be talking about is the website, right? The planksip website.
Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the philosophical backdrop that unites the two of us anyways. And here, let's use a funny word called transcendence, right? And it's like, whoa, I throw that word out and it's supposed to mean something magical. And yet, here's Daniel, the philosopher, that says it doesn't have to mean something. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
I know what you're talking about, bro.
When I'm sitting there and I say something like, we have this relationship, but what has transcended that? Well, the friendship starts to emerge from that, right? Exactly. It's not something you put on a contract, or, it happens through our dialogue. It happens through our creating a project together.
Yeah. This is precisely true.
Right. Okay. So anyways, all right. Well, let me dig around. Let me ask you a question so that I can distract the audience enough that I can, pull up that secondary screen. So what is all this working out business that you're doing anyways? What is it? Are you trying to just stay in shape, or do you want to have a goal of running in
It's all part of my plot to better myself. It's my secret nefarious plot to improve my life. And the working out, bro, I think it's a spiritual thing. So I think the music, I think the writing, I think working out, I think yoga, I think running, I think cooking, I think it's all an act of serving the Most High. That's how I look at all of it. I look at this right now as I'm doing something for the Most High. When I'm making love, it's the same thing. It's all an act of service. So I'm not doing it like, to go back to that making love example. I'm not just doing it for me. If I wanted to do it for me, I know how to handle that. But I'm doing it purely for you. I'm doing it to make you comfortable. If I get something out of it, if I get something out of it, that's cool. But if you're not that doesn't mean I'm a people pleaser. What it means is it's my intention behind doing something. So with working out, if I want to be a bodybuilder, I'd be eating steaks, I'd be eating eggs. I don't even eat meat, man. Like I'm playing on hard mode. I don't even eat like eggs, like dairy. Like I straight up play this shit on hard mode. I just ate Brussels sprouts and chickpeas. And now your boys got the crazy mix. I got strawberry, banana, cacao powder, a little bit of vegan protein powder, that Vegas Sports shit. I would recommend it. And a little bit of Canadian honey for my man. Had to throw some Canadian honey in there. So I do, but the working out, to answer your question, why do I do it? It started out as like, man, like I should probably get in shape so I can get laid. And now what it's become is something far deeper than that. It's become like a spiritual thing, So hopefully that kept us going long enough to where we got the site up now. That's perfect.
Oh, it totally does. But I can't leave that tantalizing bit out about making love. I can't do that because this is fascinating. And I want to I gotta create this picture for you, right? And then you can tell me how you'd fill it in because it is just hilarious. Mm-hmm. So my man Samir, he's on the opposite coast. I'm on the Pacific coast. I'm in British Columbia. And my man Samir actually lives in Washington, D.C. Okay, now
dirty district.
Everybody needs to understand that there was a pre-COVID world, right? I mean, there definitely was. And so I'm imagining my man Samir going to the clubs, right? And he does his thing, right? He's a pretty, I'd say you got some flow, right? I mean, you got some style. You got some game, right?
I used to be an open mic. Do I have game, bro? I got girls hitting me up that I have had to ghost people. I don't know if you know about ghosting. Yeah, I've had to ghost many people because I'm trying to live my life. I'm trying to work with you, trying to do all this stuff. I got people, hey, you trying to go do this weekend? Nah, it was all right the first weekend, but I don't know if I want to keep going. But I'm not an asshole because I know a lot of people hear something like that. They're like, man, this guy's a prick. I'm not. When I find the right one, that's the right one. There's this girl I was chilling with last weekend. She's got a real cool personality. She's cool. I don't want to say she the one because I don't want to limit myself, but she making me feel a different way than a lot of these other girls used to make me feel. But I don't want to say nothing because it's too early and it's all dopamine right now. I feel like the first week is just a pure just dopamine rush. You just like get back in there. So I'm trying to fight that because I've been schooled by a lot of older people that are like, I know exactly the feeling you're getting. It's all coming your way, and you need to find. It's all a distraction. So you need to find a way to kind of dodge the laser beams. Maybe every once in a while come up, but dodge them because they're gonna come your way. This is like the time I've been given the juice right now, and I have to figure out how to use the juice and not lose the juice, but use it right so I can do something cool with it. And in order to do something cool, you can't get lost in the sauce, man. You gotta properly utilize the sauce to make yourself happy and make the sauce happy. But You don't want to get lost, then you'd be swimming in a vat of sauce. It's not
Yeah.
good.
Here's the thing. I understand what you say, and I think let's just leave it as rhetoric, because I let the imagination kind of fill that in, and I think the audience can draw the picture, but I want to do something that's a little bit more playful and fun, and imagine something like a bit of a skit. Okay, so here comes Samir in the club. He comes up to the girl, his approach, to doing some eyes and all this kind of stuff going on. And what do you say to her? You say, "Hey, look, babe, it's not for me. This is 100% for you." And I just think that is so awesome if you pull that off, right? And it's like,
bro,
I pull it off all the time.
Bro, they eat that shit.
Yeah,
bro.
You can live it, and you can actually be it, right? So you can actually.
You gotta follow through with it. You can't just
that's right.
You gotta follow through with it. And then it becomes fun for you. It's like that Rabindranath Tagore quote. I love this quote. I think I've probably put it in an article at one point. It says, "I dreamt and life was joy. I woke and life was service. I lived and service was joy." So there you go. You'd sleep in, you're like, man, it's all supposed to be fun. Then you live your life. You're like, damn, I actually have to do some shit. But once you start doing the shit enough, you're like, damn, this is actually kind of fun. Doing the shit is kind of fun. Having to play the same freaking chord for somebody 30 times because they don't want to let you play lead. Eventually, you start having fun with it. You start bouncing around, dancing. You can make anything fun. I was just cleaning my apartment for 2-3 hours this morning, scrubbing the floors, all that shit. I had on some P-Funk. I was grooving and cleaning the apartment. It didn't even feel like I was cleaning, bro. I was having a good time. And then when I finished it, my roommate's like, damn, you did such a good job. I'm like, damn, I forgot that I was doing something for the apartment. I just thought I was having fun listening to music. Like, service is joy, man. Like, that's when I wrote the articles, man. Like, any work I've ever done, any job I've ever had, I approach it as having fun. Like, I'm doing some fun shit. Because otherwise, you just want to fucking get out of there, man,
Yeah, that's right. And you can give the best of yourself in a more genuine way. And that's a lot about what the planksip site's about. And
exactly.
We want to bring on more people that want to put an authentic voice out. And I think, let me use this as just a little bit of a plug for people that are tuning in or eventually going to watch this. One of the things that's really important about planksip as for new authors and creators, writers, is that we help build their brand. That's what the plank is for. It's an organic platform. Now, the other part of this is that it's imagined as like a sandbox for creativity, right? I mean, Samir and we decided to do a video series that was a little bit, I got comments one time, someone said it's like, cool, climate change with a rap background, you know what I mean? And so we just produced something. We created 13 episodes, and now we're on to our next project. And it's that creativity sort of opens up, and it just goes where it goes, and that's a part of something that I think is really exciting for me, anyways.
Definitely. I'm glad that you told me the other stuff sucked. With the first script for the climate thing, when I was starting it, you're like, redo it. And at first I was like, man, I have to do all this work. Like, I gotta read this shit. But I'm glad you said that, because it completely changed my approach to it. I feel like my thinking about it had become very uptight. I was like, okay, he wants a script and he wants it to be back and forth. And then I didn't even really look at the videos and saw that they were like 10 seconds long. So I was like, I just looked at the topic and I was writing it out. Then I saw the videos were short. I'm like, I got to cram some important shit in here real quick, but I got to hook them. So I was like, what's the natural thing that comes out? Rhymes. So I just started rhyming, started going, and you started liking it. So I was like, all right, cool.
I know it's not the Iliad or the Odyssey, right? But in some respects, some wisdom comes out of this, that it's like a return to like a poetic impulse, right? And I study a lot of the Hellenics and the original, the Greek origin stuff, right? I'm a Western philosopher. So the idea is that this ability of how the culture began through this cultural transmission, it happened in in a poetic sense, right? You know, first there's the poets, and as Shelley said, they're the legislators of our society. Then it moves into like a printed sort of thing, but the wellspring is poetic. It's that ability for it to map onto like a rhythm, right? And you know, that's coming from this guy that has very little rhythm. So my man Samir kind of had to kind of help me along, right? He's like, shit, can this guy even pull off this rhyme?
It's all about, you got to feel it out a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. So
we're talking about, yeah.
So anyways, let's move on. We're gonna try and keep today's episode to about 12:30 with that specific time. So we've got about another 20 minutes, and I want to touch on a couple of the videos or the articles in the figures of speech section for today. And so for people that want like a little bit of a under the hood view of what planksip does on the we have an iterative repeat republishing cycle. So we've tagged a lot of our articles in the figures of speech section, which new members know they're exposed to for writing assignments if they want to participate in the writers competition. But essentially what happens on April 1st is we've got a list of articles here, okay? And so we're going to spend some time on a couple of them, just depending on how much time we actually have. So what we've got are internal tags. And if I scroll down to April, lots of tags. We got quite the system here. Okay, so April 1st, we've got two things happening on April 1st. Two posts are actually with the C, and that means critique. And probably, more than likely, it's actually been my man Samir that wrote these critiques. But there's also 10 articles on the April 1st tag, right? So let's go into both of those sections. We'll do one example of the April 1st figure of speech. Then we'll get into critique. Hold on just a second. I have to click not on the tag, but actually on the post. So just bear with me. Okay.
Let's see. Overachievement will blow your mind.
Okay, that's good. We got some Albert Camus and Maslow in this sort of wisdom piece.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Now, what people need to understand is that they're actually looking at the back end of the CMS. This is the environment that the writers actually get to work in. So it looks much more aesthetic when we push the publish button. And I encourage anybody to go check the planksip blog out at www.planksip.org.
Yes.
There's been a little bit of a glitch by someone just typing in planksip.org and hitting return. I'm not sure what the glitch is, but if anybody Googles planksip, they'll obviously end up at the right place.
Let me try that out. What's the glitch been?
Well, if I just type in planksip.org into the URL bar, it pulls up. Huh?
It works for me. I get a blog for minimalists. Metamorphosis.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so
so maybe some people's computers, are just kind of whack, or their browsers, because I just typed it in, came up fine for me.
Yeah. Okay, so what we've got here is, now I got to get into a little bit of an explanation for people that don't know what the figures of speech section is. So there's a growing membership of writers that want to write for planksip, okay? And instead of hiring writers and hiring a large swath of writers, which is a very much a challenge for us to do, simply because we don't advertise on the site. It's not that kind of a site, okay? So in some respects, we're trying to do things a little bit different. And I wanted to generate a portion of this media outlet. I wanted to make it a very organic place for people to submit and for peers to review the written submissions. Okay, so we've come up with quite an extensive membership program for writers that want to compete in peer memberships or grow their platforms organically, this type of thing. Okay, so I'm not going to get into all of that. I mean, it would sound too much like a paid promotion, but just let people know, or just I want to let everybody know that there is that in the background. And so that's really integral to our membership community. Now, within this particular article, what we're looking at here is there's some elements that we're prompting writers to write about, okay? And so this was a test, and I believe it was a test for eyesight used by the military at some point. And essentially, I'm not entirely sure how they used it, because I'm just going off of reference here, like trying to remember the image. But it's you can see that as you go down in number 3, 4, 5, and you start to go down these levels, you have to think to yourself, when can I actually make the distinction between the black and white? When does it start to blur? When can I see these separations, right? And cognitively, what we do is we look at the white lines and the black lines, and we highlight the white lines, obviously, on this sort of background. And I'm just being a little bit, I'm offering a different alternative by calling them black lines separated by white spaces. Now, there's some error in that logic because they're not black lines unless they're black lines terminating into a black oblivion. But the reason why I put it that way is I was trying to show just the opposite side of that particular statement. And building on that, we started talking about Abraham Maslow, and I want to do this quote because it's centric to what we're asking the members to do. If you plan on being anything less than you're capable of being, you will probably be unhappy all the days of your life.
That's very true.
So immediately, Samir thinks that that's true, and we'll pause a little bit to say why it's true. But I'm going to, but there's there's a nuance to this where it says, like, capture in your best conception of what you're capable of doing and embody it, project it, move towards it, right? And
that's the thing about it, dude. If you read the sentence, it doesn't say if you end up becoming something that you're less than capable of being, you're going to be unhappy. It says if you plan on being anything less than you're capable of being, which means you got to aim high. Just now, if you end up not getting to where you plan to be, you won't necessarily be unhappy. You might have learned a lot of stuff, but if you plan, if you know what you're capable of being and you plan for something less than that, of course you're going to be unhappy because you didn't even give it a shot. So there's the nuance to me, is like, if your plan is shorter than what you know you can do, you're fucking up. You should at least plan the highest, and then if you don't get it, that's cool because you at least plan for it. That's how I'm looking at it. How do you look at it, man?
I totally agree. I mean, I definitely look at things from a Platonic sense without any of the pejorative. So anybody that's well versed in Plato and the criticisms of an ideology or a suspension of worlds of imaginary versus material, and I mean, effectively all the abrasion that Aristotle really had. I am Platonic for the reason that this mindset, this ability to future calculate, is, even from a biological substrate, the most unique thing that humanity has to work with. I'm not saying this is the full definition of it, but we are unique in the animal kingdom, in the biodiversity of this planet, because of our ability to imagine. And I think that the material sciences should really understand that function and the possibilities that come with that gift. and I'm not that it's a gift from anyone particular, but this is very unique to humans. So I think you're on solid ground.
You think it's unique to humans? You don't think chickens be thinking about this stuff?
Well, not in the same way. And so we have this ability to project probably further and anticipate and further than any other animal, especially and then make use of it with our surroundings. I mean, just say, can I doubt that claim? I mean, is there something unique in the fact that we can send a space probe to Mars? Or do you know what I mean? Like there's levels of reality that we have that are really the bow down and testament to science to go, holy shit, we really collectively as a human entity know a lot of knowledge. And I mean, it could be argued whether or not it's good or bad, but the idea is quite obvious to me that we have this unique ability that's been demonstrated, throughout human history. We have this enormous epistemology, this framework of knowledge that seems to be much greater than anything from any other living creature. And I got to be careful there, Samir, though, because when you start thinking about other animals, you got a cat. I don't know. Is he rummaging around there somewhere?
Not only do I have a cat, I just got him tattooed on my ankle, man. It's still healing right now, but this motherfucker, where is he at right now? Billy, where the fuck are you? Hold on. Mary, do you see Billy? Oh, there he is. He's chilling in the corner. He's chilling on my guitar case. Look at little Billy. Little Billy, what's up? What's up? You want to say hi? He's chilling. He's
so what does he get for the design on the ankle? Like a little bite mark or something?
Dude,
he attacks you.
It's a real simple. So the reason why I got it on my ankle is because that's where this motherfucker is always getting me. So I said, what better place to commemorate this guy than get a little tattoo? It's just a black cat. I made sure that they made the eyes real nice and shiny and gold and yellow, but it's still healing. It's got a lot of blood on it. You have any tattoos?
No, and that's kind of an anomaly, right? I mean, I've been one of these holdouts.
No, not really. There's a lot of people without them.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any tattoos. I never will.
Never will. Yeah, that's what my mom used to say. Then we brainwashed her, and now she has.
Oh, you got okay. Yeah.
Got a tattoo, and then my dad had to one up everybody, so he's got a big old back tattoo. He's got tattoos there. Everybody. My sister started it though. She was the first one. She got something on her rib cage. She actually tricked my mom into writing something for her, and then she took that and she got it tatted on her rib cage. It says like "Girl Almighty" or something like that. And then she got another one. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go get one because everyone seems to be getting tattoos except for me. So I got this guy right here. When I was like 21, 22, got that. And I got this when I was in Colombia, as in Colombia, South America. Then I got 42 tattooed on my knee in honor of the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. And just got little Billy tatted on my ankle. That's all I got so far. I'm sure I'll probably get more as the time goes on, but right now I'm satisfied with what I got. But it is kind of silly if you think about it. You're just getting someone to draw something on you, so I could totally see why people don't want it.
It's very tribal though, right? I mean, we've had body marks for quite some time. You can almost really take a statement of where you're projecting yourself. You like that 42 number. I want to dig into that later. I don't think we have time today, but I got to tell you this.
We'll get into it someday. It's a big thing for me.
I got to tell you this story about my grandma and her tattoo. Did I tell you the story? I think I might have.
No, I don't think you ever told me about it. Let's see it.
Oh fuck! Yeah, it was so interesting about the my grandma getting a tattoo. I mean, just think there's lots of grandchildren. There's we all come back. We hadn't seen her for a while, and then all of a sudden, guess what happened? She comes home and she says, "I got a tattoo."
How old was she at the time?
Oh, it must have been in her 70s.
Really?
Yeah, so we're like, what, Grandma? She goes, yeah, I got a little mouse, right? And then it gets a little weird, right? Because your grandma kind of looks back and she's like, it's on my tummy here, and she's kind of pulling down, her pant line there, and you're like,
Good Lord,
right?
Grandma.
Yeah, you just don't know what you don't. It's just the territory you don't really want to go, right? But she's like, whoops, the pussy must have ate it.
She said that?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Oh, so she's just coming up with the great jokes, the grandma jokes, it just surprises me. So she was just stringing us along on this like tattoo of a mouse, right? She's like,
just so she could make the pussy must have ate a joke.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good one, bro. Hey, I just put something in the chat. It's about 40 seconds long.
Let's look at it.
We should end the show. We should end the show with this, guys, because I was talking about the sauce earlier, and this explains exactly what is meant by the sauce, just for future reference. So if viewers ever wanna, it's like what's it called, canon or anthology. This is part of like the planksip anthology. You watch this. If you want to reference back to what the sauce means, you come back to this moment. Now you're going to know what the sauce is. So you're never going to forget.
Okay, here it goes. Just give me a minute. I'm going to put it up.
Take your time, brother. Take your time.
Is it hard to be fresh if you don't have money, or can you still pull it? Is it hard to be fresh if you don't have money?
I'll see it. It's just on your screen, I think.
Yeah, it's coming.
Get it. Okay.
Oh, fun time. So this will be the format as we go forward, right? We'll just do stuff like this. It's just nice
for sure. It'll be a little bit easier. So in a couple weeks, I'm making the move down to Texas, and at that point, I think it'll be a little more streamlined. It will, because here everything's a little hectic. I got a lot of shit I gotta do throughout the day, but there, I'll definitely have a solid chunk of time. How long are you looking to make these episodes? Like a couple hours each or hour each?
Well, I mean, I don't know. The 45 minutes is seeming pretty good. I don't want to make them, we can play with it, but I was kind of shooting around 45 minutes to an hour,
That's cool. And if it needs to go longer, it goes longer. If we feel like we've covered everything, then we can end it shorter. It depends on how we feel with it,
Yeah, I mean, I find, they're great. They're really good. But, it's just like a Joe Rogan podcast. There's a point where I just can't commit to 4 hours to watch, his episode, even though I want to. So I want to try.
You got to make it bite-sized. You got to or like you get a longer one, but you find the clips that are cool and you kind of cut them up into like little segments and people can digest them. But maybe we could have like a special. Like we have a bunch of shorter ones, and then like one day there's like a special event or like a special guest. Like we have like a fucking group movie watching session or some shit like that. Like very rare, once in a blue moon type. But for most episodes, 45 to an hour is totally cool, man.
Okay, so what we're gonna do? I propose something that we should do from now on. I don't want to do any outro. I don't want to say okay, bye, see you later, and all this sort of thing. We're gonna say our goodbyes now. Sort of thing. We're going to end on this clip.
With the video.
Yeah. We're out.
It was good talking to you, brother.
Okay.
Now let's learn about the sauce.
All right.
It's about Gucci Mane explains the sauce. I've been telling you that for a while.
See, when I had no money, I still had sauce. Mm-hmm. So if you don't got no sauce, then you're lost. Mm-hmm. But you can also get lost in the sauce.
You can get how you get lost in the sauce?
A bitch gonna get lost in the sauce, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, man.
I'm sprinkling the sauce, dropping sauce over the street, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I dig it.
Overdose of sauce.
That's what it is.
No meat, just sauce.
When you're born, can you be born with sauce, or do you acquire sauce?
No, you
get sauce. You get sauce.
How you gonna be born with season? You gotta get seasoned. I wasn't born without the sauce. I had to acquire the sauce.
Yeah, you